We don't get a ton of views like this in St. Johns County. This is actually up in Amelia Island. We've got the Intercoastal Waterway back there and the marsh. It's beautiful. But it got me thinking about flood zones. So this lot is definitely not flood zone X. And what do I mean by flood zone X? So I get a lot of questions from buyers about flood zones, especially coming from out of state. And one of the questions inevitably is my lot that I'm going to build on, is it in a flood zone? And so the answer, in a sense, is always yes. Yes, your house is in a flood zone, but which flood zone is it? And so what we're typically looking for and what we typically find in all of the CDD communities and all of the master plan communities in St. Johns County, we're looking for the lot to be flood zone X. So what is flood zone X? Well, flood zone X is the flood zone where you don't have to have flood insurance on your house. And if it's not flood zone X, then yeah, you're gonna have to have flood insurance on your house. And so one question I get a lot is, Austin, or a panic call, Austin, the builder's saying that we're not flood zone X, what's going on? Or we have to have flood insurance. My mortgage company's telling me we need flood insurance, all of this. And so what's typically happening is the developer is developing the land. And so previously it was a flood zone. And then when the developer develops the land, they put in the drainage, all those retention ponds serve a purpose, and they raise the elevation so you're at 25, 35, 40 feet above sea level. And then now it's not really in danger of flooding as a non-flood zone X lot would be. And so then they reach out to FEMA and they tell FEMA, look, we've done all this development, and FEMA needs to check on that, and then they're gonna update their maps. The insurance companies only use the maps. So even if your house is not technically in a flood zone or not literally in a flood zone, if it shows up on the FEMA maps as being flood zone, then insurance is going to be required. So when FEMA updates the maps, then you will be in flood zone X and you'll no longer be required to carry flood insurance. You still can and talk to your insurance person about whether that's the best idea for you. But yeah, inevitably flood zones are going to come up. And I have not yet seen a master planned community development where all the lots didn't end up being flood zone X. So anyways, if you have any more questions about flood zones or you're thinking about building in St. Johns County, reach out. I can answer your questions. Would love to help.